Dr. Meera, a psychologist, wellness trainer and a life coach. ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ കാണാൻ പോകുന്നത് dermatoglyphics എന്നുള്ള സയൻസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് how can we decode the genetic potential. അതിൽ the first topic about the connection between the brain and the fingers. That's what we're going to see today. So let's look at finger to brain connection. In the brain, the neocortex in the brain, it is divided into 5 lobes as per the Dermatoglyphics report. 5 lobes are the prefrontal lobe, that is the prefrontal comes right here in front, the prefrontal lobe followed by the frontal lobe, then the parietal lobe, the temporal lobe and the occipital lobe at the back, which is the visual lobe. These 5 lobes are decode cheyan pattunnathu. How are the 5 lobes connected to the fingers? Let's look at that. The prefrontal lobe is nothing other than the thumb. Rendu thumb undu. We have the right thumb and the left thumb. So one thing that we need to understand is the right side of the body or the right hand actually decodes the left brain, and everything that is on the left side of the body is the right brain. So therefore the right hand is actually representing the left brain activities and the left hand is representing the right brain activities. Now let's look at from the space of the lobes. The lobes parayumbol oro lobe left and right undu. So right thumb aanengil it will be the left prefrontal lobe. Left thumb aanengil it will definitely be the right prefrontal lobe. Now left right brain nammal endukondu parayunu. There is a left-right brain bias. The brain two hemispheres are divided. The whole brain. The left brain normally stands for logical thinking, numerical ability, reasoning, practicality. All the informations that we take in is logical. Is basically the left brain activity. Whereas right brain activity is the more of the creative activities. Our right brain is all creativity. Emotions also is more of a right brain activity. About right brain bias right brain they will be more creative, artistic, the writing ability, dancing ability. So all that comes from within. The creative side of the brain is the right brain, and the more logical, informative side of the brain is the left brain. So left brain is more of logical thinking, whereas right brain is more of creative thinking. But angane number define chain, and therefore all the lobes, the 5 lobes, have the left and the right side to it. Now let's look at enganeyana connection. So the thumb determines the prefrontal lobe. Prefrontal lobe nu parayumbol it's the right and the left thumb. The index finger stands for the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe to the left and right is the left and right index. So all the characteristics of prefrontal is determined by the thumb. All the characteristics of the frontal lobe is determined by the index finger. Pinna the middle finger. The middle finger actually stands for the parietal lobe. Of course, parietal lobe is nothing but the body lobe, that is more of the kinesthetic ability. Nammude gross motor and fine motor. So that is what the middle finger stands for. The ring finger actually stands for the temporal lobe. Temporal lobe is the language lobe, the sound lobe, the audio connected lobe. The music appreciation comes from the temporal lobe, and of course many other characteristics, but more to do with the sound, audio, language area. And finally the little finger. The left and right little finger is nothing but the visual lobe, that is the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe are the last little finger, the right and the left. So it's very simple. Here calculation is very simple. How are the lobes connected to the fingers? Now the next step is left and right namukku ee fingers vadi adinte complete ridge counting undu. So based on the ridge count there is something called as TFRC, total finger ridge count. Ella 10 fingers inde ridges count cheyidal we get the overall brain potential of a individual. Overall brain potential from the space of the neocortex. എന്തുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ സ്പെസിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? Because we do not really decode the cerebellum or the medulla oblongata or the brain stem. ഇതൊന്നും നമ്മൾ decode ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. പക്ഷേ it is the neocortex which is the thinking brain, the feeling, even the limbic system is not something that we decode. But then people who have more of the right brain, yes, and from the personality, yes, we can look at what kind of emotional stability that person will have. But otherwise, it is always from the space of, it's a quantitative chart on the neocortex of the brain. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ lobe specification കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. And please do not misunderstand or mistake it for the whole brain. But neocortex in the overall brain potential കിട്ടിയാൽ തന്നെ it really helps one to understand what is my overall potential, what is my learning capacity, learning ability, how far can I devote my brain to complex learning. So that is found out from something called as the TFRC. TFRC is called as the total finger ridge count. All 10 fingers in the ridge count നമുക്ക് calculate ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. From the ridge count, there is a slab which determines the learning capacity of an individual. Between 60 to 200 ആണ് നമ്മുടെ ridge count in the slab നമ്മൾ ഇടുന്നത്. So there are basically 4 slabs. We can always also move it into different slabs, even more intense slabs. But basically there are 4 slabs. So we have a 60 to 100, 100 to 140, 140 to 200 and about 200. So normally 60 to 80 or 60 to 100 slab is the individuals who are not very fast learners. Normally they will take time to learn and they may need more time to understand, to grasp. They cannot get complexity very easily. So they will normally learn by step by step. Step by step process-ലൂടെ കുറച്ചും കൂടി പതുക്കെ slow learners-ന്റെ category-ആണ് 60 to 80. Then we have 80 to 100. 80 to 100 category എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുറച്ചും കൂടി mediocre, that is moderate learning capacity ഉള്ളത്. So if the more they take effort, definitely the more they can perform. 100 to 140 again good potential ആണ്. Children having or individuals having 100 to 140 are children who can really do well. They are comparatively above average performers, but yes, they have to be focused and they have to be goal oriented in order to do extremely well. If they have to really be a topper, yes, a little more effort has to be taken. And finally, between 140 and 200 are the highest potential individuals, and of course above 200 definitely they are the very high potential or gifted children or gifted individuals. അപ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനെ നമുക്കൊരു സ്ലാബ് ഇട്ടിട്ട് overall brain learning capacity കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. So here we looked at 2 aspects. One is the brain to finger connection. Second is the overall TFRC and how does it affect the overall brain potential of a person. നമ്മളിവിടെ even brain lobes നമ്മൾ ഡീകോഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഓരോ ഫിംഗറിന്റെ ബ്രെയിൻ ലോബ് വെച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാൽക്കുലേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്, അതിന്റെ പെർസെൻറ്റേജ് ഉണ്ട്. ഈ പെർസെൻറ്റേജ് ആക്ച്വലി ഇസ് ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദ TFRC. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ 140 TFRC ഉള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിക്ക് പ്രീഫ്രണ്ടൽ ലോബ് 20% ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഡിഫറെന്റ് ഫ്രം ഒരു 100 പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ TFRC ഉള്ള ഒരാളുടെ പ്രീഫ്രണ്ടൽ ലോബ് 20% ആണെങ്കിൽ. So that is, even if the percentage is the same of the lobes to the finger connection, ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു depth എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു ആക്ച്വൽ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓൾവേസ് ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദ TFRC. അപ്പോൾ 210 TFRC ഉള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയുടെ പ്രീഫ്രണ്ടൽ ലോബ് 20% ആണെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് മച്ച് ഹയർ ദാൻ ഒരു 100 TFRC ഉള്ള ഒരു വ്യക്തിയുടെ പ്രീഫ്രണ്ടൽ ലോബ് ഇഫ് ദ പെർസെൻറ്റേജ് ഇസ് ദ സെയിം. അപ്പോൾ ആ രീതിയിൽ ഓരോ വ്യക്തിയും യുണീക്ക് ആണെന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. സോ ഓൾദോ പെർസെൻറ്റേജസ് വളരെ സിമിലർ ആയിരിക്കും, പക്ഷെ TFRC is always different and personality definitely is also very different. അതിന്റെ ബേസിസിലാണ് നമ്മൾ ഒരു ആളുടെ യുണീക്നെസ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നത്. So dermatoglyphics is a genetic science that helps us to understand our uniqueness. അപ്പോൾ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള കോംപ്ലെക്സിറ്റി ഒരു ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ്ങിന് ഉണ്ട്, and we can decode this very easily through the science of dermatoglyphics, and it helps us to understand നമ്മുടെ uniqueness എന്താണ്. Because every individual is unique. Only then we can celebrate our differences and we can showcase that as a potential and channelize it to realize our true purpose in life. In the upcoming videos, now we will have more about the characteristics of each finger and especially the personality patterns. We will look at all the patterns in general and learn more about this science so that we can understand our true genetic potential easily and live the life of our dreams. Thank you and have a great day.